Clearly there's still plenty of competition for places.
Yes, there were changes. I mean, in the goalkeeping world, we wanted to give Christie a game because he's been training so well and got to keep as many players on a forward progress as much as possible. So that was the reason behind that one. But the rest of them were they all sort of fatigue or injury related. So we've got to use the squad. Saturday again, I'm sure there'll be a whole set of circumstances that will determine or dictate selection again. So rarely do you go through a season where you can pick an 11 and continue that on to the next week.
How difficult is that goalkeeping situation? Because you've got three really very good goalkeepers, and at League 2 level that's a little bit unusual.
It's a nice situation to have. I'm not complaining at all. We're blessed with three very good goalkeepers, and in the fullness of time they'll all do very well for themselves, so I can't complain. But it's best not making too many long-term plans. Let them earn their position, and Bobby's obviously the senior goalkeeper, but it certainly doesn't rule out James or Christie long-term, and even short-term, as we showed on Tuesday with the selection of Christie.
I think James had a brief loan with Hayes last season. Are you looking for any of them to go out?
Yeah, well, I think when you have a third goalkeeper, yes, it would be a useful situation if one of the three could go and play. But of course, the situation with loans at the moment means that there are new rules governing the loans, and of course it means, that you have to have a host club, a club that needs a goalkeeper. So it's circumstance driven, I suppose. So if there was an opportunity, a club at a good level that wanted a goalkeeper would consider it, definitely.
Are you looking to bring anybody else in the next week or so?
Always looking. It's my job to see if we can improve the squad. As yet, we're up to budget, and if anything, slightly over budget. So we're right on the edge of what we've spent. So again, it's trying to find money. Trying to find money to do it. Had I had more financial capability over the summer, there'd been a number of players that have left us that I would have kept. Aaron Davis, David Noble. There were a number of players that I would have kept had I had the opportunity. So, it's really a case of. It certainly helped having the cup game on Tuesday. That's brought some extra revenue in. So it's my job to have an eye always on the next player. So yes, I've got one or two things in mind. Whether I can do it or not is a different matter.
Okay, now Aaron, I know about. Has David fixed himself up a club, or is David still available?
I don't know. Not sure. Last I heard, that was a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure.
You've been pretty unfortunate with the injuries so far this season. Is there any easing on that situation for Saturday?
No, it just seems one comes after the other. When you tend to be pushed and stretched, and of course 2 games a week doesn't half stretch you as a team. It just seems to put extra strain on the players. You never seem to get through a game fully in control of the sort of physical fatigue situation. So I don't know. I don't think so. I'm looking forward to a couple of weeks where we don't have midweek games. I mean, as much as I like the games, it does put extra stress on the players.
Yeah, it's a bit like when you're rushing away. There's always red traffic lights then, isn't it? But
well, yeah. With 2 games a week, there hasn't been a Monday and a Thursday since the season started where I've had all the players out training and been able to practice and coach, and so there's been a good number of players who have been off feet for 2 or 3 days between games because they have to recover and they've got bumps and bruises and everything else. So it takes away some of the training opportunity, the coaching opportunity, should I say? But I'm sure every club's the same. It's not just us.
Portsmouth, inevitably everybody's pre-season favourites, or certainly the bookies, or that might be lazy bookmaking. But what are you expecting from them this weekend?
A good football team who have good possession and will want to dominate with the ball and with possession, and have some good players and a good travelling support, a good atmosphere, an away team that will appreciate the good surface at St James's Park as it currently is proving to be this year, and a game where we have to cover good areas and play as a team. So I'm expecting a difficult game. You'd be hard pressed to find this year me saying on a pre-match press call that we've not got a good or hard challenge ahead of us. But that's the nature of League Two. But Portsmouth, I would say, I would be surprised if they didn't finish in those top echelons of the league.
You've probably been the better side against both Hartlepool and Crawley, but fact is no points at home. How frustrating is that?
It's frustrating, but more importantly, it's the reality. You're a professional person, and it's the industry you're in. You've got to pick up points. So there's an element of frustration to it, but you have to look at it and say why and how and what do we do next. So different game. You have to forget those things and just look at the game in front of you. 90 minutes or 95 minutes, whatever the duration will be, and you've got to come out with points. So it'll do no harm playing against Portsmouth in terms of a very good team that we have to concentrate. So there'll be no I'd imagine opportunity for the players to step off the gas and think it's easy.